So just degrees of stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's
So today is Sunday the 2nd of October and I've just been having a little play out the front here with the new mower. Now yesterday I dropped the height down to 12 millimeters and that's when I discovered that it's actually got a high lift kit on it, so at this stage I can't drop it lower than that, but I'll sort that out later on. Basically what's happening now is going to whip the reels off now and then on Wednesday when I'm next off work I'm going to head down to the Central Coast and I'll bring you guys along. And what we're going to do is we're going to look at what goes on when it comes to grinding. So we're going to get all the reels ground. We'll have a talk to Trent down there and see what it's all about. So let's go around the back. I've got to whip these heads off now and get them ready because I'll need to be on the road by about 5:30 on Wednesday morning. Today will be my last chance. So I'll show you how quickly and how easily these heads come off and how they're actually not really cutting that well at the moment. As you can see, we've got a fair bit of life left in this bottom blade. In fact, it looks probably pretty new apart from the fact it's a little bit grimy and the reel probably could do with a really good pressure wash, but unfortunately I just don't have the time between now and then, so we'll have to sort it out. To adjust these, all you have to do is a couple of nips here, couple of nips there, and you'll hear that's a little bit tighter, but it still won't be enough to cut paper. Righto guys, so I've rocked up down here this morning to the Central Coast, and Trent has a business called Central Coast Cylinder Mowers and he specialises in grinding, sharpening and repairing of cylinder mowers. So if you guys are based on the coast or Newcastle or Sydney and you're looking for someone to do your grinding, this is who I'm using. We've just cleaned the heads off the machine because I was too lazy or ran out of time to do it at home. We've stripped this one down. We're going to pop it in the grinder very shortly. So I guess basically what's going to happen today, mate?
So what we're going to basically do, we're going to put them in the grinder.
Yep.
We're going to level it all out.
Yep.
Going to parallel or level off the actual cylinder itself.
Yep.
And then we're going to do a spin grind.
Yep. So basically what you were saying there before is if this was ground with a different machine or not quite right, there's a chance that the diameter of the reel here may be smaller than potentially here.
Correct, yeah.
And your machine is going to make it true and square all the way.
Yeah, so
Sweet.
the diameter will be evenly on all sides.
And it'll be razor sharp.
It'll be razor sharp. We'll also put a relief on there, so they'll help you when you decide to backlap.
Yep.
Keep you sharp, and we'll redo your bed knives as well
Sweet.
at the degrees.
So, all right, we'll just run us through the process, man. So we've got this one stripped down. So what's the next stage now?
The next stage is we'll lift this one up and put into the big foldy over there.
Yep.
And we'll set all that up, and we'll get that spinning.
Yep.
It will probably take another about 15-20 minutes to get that going.
Yep.
While that one's spinning, then we can start pulling the other ones down.
Yep.
And then basically work onto our bed knives.
Oh, sweet. All right, well, let's do it.
Yeah, sweet.
Cheers, man.
It's perfect. Nice. 0. Oh, cool. There you go. Literally 0.5.
So it's square and true now in the unit.
Well, our grinding head, machine head,
Yep.
is going to be parallel to your center of your shaft.
So there is, Trent, there is quite a lot of setting up involved. It's not just the situation of grabbing, for example, a Scott Bonner, because obviously you can put a Scott Bonner in this, you can put any machine in here. In this case, with removable heads, it's just these. It all comes down to, we'll use this camera here for a change. It all comes down to the setup. So this is a very precise machine.
Yep.
So it's very important that you spend the time getting it right. So it's not just a matter of simply chucking stuff in here,
Correct.
pressing the button.
Yeah.
It's an artwork.
Because if you don't get that first step right or the last step right, it just puts your grinding out and you're going to have it back. Let's get rid of that.
Zero. What was the other side?
0. Starts at 0, that's what.
You've done this before. Nice.
That's what you want. We know for a fact that was perfect now. The first head is always like, takes longer to set up.
Yep.
What you have to do in that. But once you have it all set up, say if we're doing 3 heads for a
Yep.
greens mower, 5 heads for a fairway, it's just basically zero it all out with the gauge, level it all out, and then start spinning.
So for example, if you had a fleet of Scott Bonners come in,
Yep.
you'd try and do them all as a batch to save time.
Yeah.
Yep.
But with the Scott Bonners, I use straps to strap them down
Yep.
because there's always play in them.
Yeah, right.
I don't actually have a jig just yet.
Yep. Working on that.
Working on that. I do have a frame there that I've got to do one.
Sweet.
And all I'm going to do is I'm just going to bring the stone up so it touches, so I know I don't have to start that far away.
Oh yeah, yep. So again, there's a lot of practice in this because you know by feel what you're looking for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that basically is set up,
Yep.
ready to spin.
Yeah, sweet. And roughly how long would it take to do a reel on average? I mean, I guess it varies.
Yeah, it does vary depending on the taper or the condition of the reel. So if it's got no taper and it just needs a quick spin grind and a relief, I can get them done half an hour to 45 minutes.
Yep.
Yeah, fairway mower I can knock over in roughly about 8 hours, and they're bigger head.
Yeah, there's a lot involved in one of those ones, yeah, for sure.
We're in spin manual.
Yep.
We're going to start spinning. Head spinning,
Yep.
the reel spinning. Then we're going to engage the drive, the stone spinning.
Yep.
And engage the vacuum to catch the sparks.
Wow.
We're going to start low traverse speed. We'll bring it across. Then it's going to go up till it touches. Alright. And manually send it across.
You can see the little colour change already in the reel.
It's starting to get heavier. So you hear it change?
Yeah, you can feel
That's telling me there was a taper in that.
Yeah, right.
Hear it? So I'm going to make it go slowly across. We've got to get that taper out before we set a program.
Right. So it's all can be automatically set.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Once you get that taper out, you'll manually set it to the program, and it'll do its magic.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, that was definitely tapered. Got the head going slow just to get rid of that paper.
Right, so that'll give you a fresh start.
Correct. Because I'm going to start it on that, basically where that head is. I'm not going to increase it anymore. I'm going to start where that is.
Yeah.
If I start the program at that where it is now, and I haven't got rid of that taper, as soon as it goes to increase the tension, it's going to be heavy.
Yep.
Could drop the drive, it could damage your reel, damage your stone.
So tiny little bites. Yeah.
So we've got the cylinder still getting ground behind us here in the Foley machine. So the other part of the whole process is the bottom blade. So we've disassembled the reels. So I've just grabbed this one here because Trent's already got one set up in, what do you call this, the lathe?
Oh, bed knife grinder.
Bed knife grinder, there you go. So basically what we're going to do, going to run this machine here, going to come along here and put a new face, I guess.
Face, yep.
Yep. And it's all, once again, overly complicated because it's got to be set at different degrees and 3 degrees off center and point to Mecca and do stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that's the go. This has been mounted up. Even with a Scott Bonner, when you buy or replace or resharpen the bottom blade, you've got to do it on its holder.
Correct, on the bed bar.
Because it's this is true and square and tight. Yep. So it'll be ground to match that. So even if you remove this, you'd probably have to, if you took this off here and put it back on, you still
have to clean the bed bar itself.
Yep.
Because there'll be a bit of surface rust.
Yep.
But when you put it on, well, once you clean that surface rust off, once you put it on,
it'll be fine. Yep.
So we're just going to go in and touch and grind. This green stuff you see inside the grinder itself is just coolant. We don't want that bed bar to get too hot to distort. You can put cutting fluid in there, but use coolant for over 15 years and never had any issues. All we're going to do is bring it in, across. We don't want to sit on the same spot.
So it's always moving.
Always moving. So you can hear it, just touching hear it. You can see in there, it's just touched on this side.
Yep.
Hasn't really touched there, hasn't touched there, and hasn't really touched there. We're just going to bring the bed bar a bit towards us.
Yep.
Yep, push it all the way along.
Right, so you can still see a tiny little bit there. And at the end.
What I'll do is I'll just go a couple of times and I'll stop. And we'll hit the light on it so you can actually see it. Sorry.
You're right.
Right, so we just done a quick little grind. You see, there's a little bit of mark up on that there.
Little tiny little dot.
Yep. There was something here. See how it's a different colour right there on the tip?
Yep. So this is how fussy it is. Like those little dots matter. Right. And that's how precise this sort of procedure is. So one little rock, when you hit one little rock, it can do a lot of damage, and this is
Rock, stick.
Yep. So we're talking about absolute precise machinery here.
And this will be that sharp that if you run your finger across it, you'll cut your finger.
So that'll be razor sharp by the time we finish.
Yeah.
Wow.
You can shave. So what we've done is we've done the spin grind.
Yep.
We've set the program up, or set the machine up to have a relief. That's obviously for the spin grind.
Yep.
Nice fat stone.
So that's the one we used when it was going backwards.
Yep.
Yep. So that was give us the first shiny edge.
Yep.
Yep.
Now I've set it up and it's going to have a stone like this, a skinny stone, which is going to do the relief.
So it's going to go forward.
Correct.
As we'll see in a minute. Yep. So much, so a larger wheel, but thinner.
Well, I've got a smaller wheel. It's just a one for fairways.
Yeah, sweet.
They all start basically that size.
Yep.
And they just
wear down.
Wear down.
Sweet.
All right.
Let's do
So
it.
we'll close her up and let's get this grind. All right. So I'm going to engage the drive. As you see, it just put a bit of tension on the reel.
Maybe not with the reflection, but anyway.
I'll engage the stone. And I'm going to start bringing it across. So it's going to do one blade at a time.
Yep.
Instead of the whole reel, one blade. And when we set the program, we'll choose on how many blades it is.
Yeah,
so
right.
If it's an 8-blader, we'll choose 8 blades, 11 or so.
Yep. So this is obviously 11 blade reel here, so it'll go back and forth and flip it.
Yep.
11 times.
Yeah, it'll count 11 times. So you can see there where it's just come through. It's just on the top section of the blade.
Oh yeah, yep. You might not see that on camera because there's a bit of a reflection, but we'll see in the end anyway.
Yeah. Hopefully we have a good photo. But that's how deep we want to do the first cut, and we're going to set the program because that program is going to increase it again.
So again, set it up, make sure it's all good, then autopilot.
Set up. We've just done the spin and relief, we've done the bed knife, got it all out, assembled the reel, put the bed knife on, put the springs on, set it all up. Very light contact with a genuine paper. This machine will be spinning 28, 3000 RPM, maybe more on the reel, and I'm only spinning it. Yeah, like I can go slow and it still cuts.
Yep.
So that's
awesome.
what you want.
That's a huge difference to when we first started. Yeah, that's awesome, man. That is so good. So we've got 2 to go, and
yep. And you can go out and cut paper. We'll set the height. And
sweet. Although my height was pretty close.
yeah, it was.
See, Trent's got all this fancy equipment, right? He's got one of these digital. Show us this gauge you've got here. Digital Accu gauge. And I said to Trent this morning, I set this at 12 mil. And he's like, what did you set it at? 12. And I don't have a fancy gauge. I was pretty accurate for like...
For the feel again, yeah. But we'll get it right to 12 mil.
We'll get it right to 12 mil.
And make sure she's all sweet.
Once I get these changed, so these here on the side, these are, what are they called, high lift?
High to cut bars.
High to cut. So this machine, I think, was set up to motifs, maybe surrounds, probably stud like as a greens mower, but so I need to order this section here, which will allow this roller to go up higher, which means it'll cut lower. So that's my next mission, is to get these sorted. So we can get beneath 12, but at the moment 12 is as low as I can go, which is I'm okay with at the moment. So
12 is great for everyone.
Get me.
I'm cutting 15.
Oh, awesome, man! Thank you very much.
All good, man.
Right, well, thanks man very much for that. So we got 3 reels done, and actually sort of progressively got worse as we went through. So not all reels are created equal at all. No, so took a little bit longer than we thought.
Yep.
But I really appreciate you taking the time and doing my reels for me. If any of you guys are chasing somebody to grind your reels that actually knows what they're doing and does a really, really fantastic job, look Trent up. As I said at the beginning of the video, Central Coast Cylinder Mowers. He can do your Scott Bonners, he can do whatever you need him doing. Mechanical stuff.
Mechanical, yeah.
Whatever. So any questions, jump across to his Instagram page and I'm sure he'd be happy to answer them. But from what I've seen today, I can't wait to chuck these back on the mower and have a play. Mate, perfect. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. And yeah, we'll catch you here next time on the Aussie Lawn.